Today we're going to be going over latch hook technique, and when I was a kid growing up in the 80s, I used to do latch hook quite a bit in the summer. And just this last December we bought this gift for my 5-year-old for Christmas, and I kind of put it off again to do it in the summer because it's pretty time consuming. And but I didn't remember how to do the latch hook technique. I didn't remember at all how to do it. So that's why I'm doing this video, so that you too can do it. So this is actually a pretty cool item. It's a pillowcase. So when we're finished, we can either put a pillow in here or a blanket, and it'll zip right up. So there's a little zipper. And the technique I highly recommend while doing latch hook is just going row by row, sticking to going straight across, because if you start doing kind of what I did here, I started getting bored, so I change up my technique. And the only problem with changing it up is now when I do it, I have to push this down and this down, as opposed to just, so it's a little more time consuming, is all I'm saying. But, you know, do whatever you got to do to keep sane, because it's very time consuming, and this is a relatively small one because they do get bigger than this and a bit smaller. Okay, so let's jump in. I'll show you the technique, how to do it. So if you'll hold that. Okay, so what I always start off doing is I loop the piece of yarn around the hook first, and I hold it in my left hand, and then get up on there so you can really see what I'm doing here. Yeah, if you lean forward. Okay, so what I do, again, I put the piece of yarn around first, and then you loop it through whichever one's next. It just goes through that top right there. So I put the hook through, and then there's the latch. You see that tiny little, I don't know if you can see that, but there's that little latch. So I hold that down with my right hand, put the string around the hook, close it with the latch, and then I try to hold on to the fabric so I can gently pull it through. Now when you're first starting off, let me show you all the contents of the bag too. Here are all of the different colors. So sometimes what will happen when you're doing it, they'll fray like this, and they give you extras, so it's okay. Now let's say you decide to go ahead and use something like this. When you have extras at the end, you can take them out and redo it. So if you look at the beaks, see how some of these look a little frayed? It's a little frayed, so I'll go back and I'll gently lift up. I'll fill through here. So when I'm all finished with this, what you can do is gently lift up on that knot with your thumb and pull the string, or pull the yarn out. And then hopefully I have a little bit extra, because it just doesn't look as polished with the beak, I think. So, okay, so anyway, so again, I highly recommend staying row to row, and what I have my 5-year-old do is she pulls all of the colors in advance. So I'll look at my trusty sheet here, and I'll see whatever's coming up. And so we happen to be on this row, and I don't know if you can tell, but that says 4. There's 2 4s on there. And they give you this little card. And if I look at the 4, I'll see it's dark green. Here's the dark green. Can you pull 2 of those for me? So this is what I have so far. Let me get all this out of the way. Ooh, and also I highly recommend keeping them in the plastic as long as you can, rather than just pulling it all out, because they start to get a little frayed. Thank you. And then I think there's 1 left on this row, and it is a light green. Do I have any more light greens left in here?
No.
No? Okay, so pull 1 light green. So I would recommend keeping it in the plastic as long as possible. Otherwise you end up with all these little random pieces, and sometimes they just end up getting frayed if you just let them all loose. So I try to stay very organized, and I only use one color at a time. I use one entire roll at a time before moving on to the next roll of the same color. So let's see. Okay, thank you. So again, that's my technique. I just go row to row, pull all of the colors so I don't have to keep checking back on my little sheet. And let me show you one more time. Here, go ahead and take this. Let me show you one more time what I do. Where did my little pink go? Oh, here it is. So I grab the piece of yarn, I wrap it first, and I hold it with my left hand. And if you're left-handed, just switch this process around. I loop it through the next square, let the latch go all the way through, twist the yarn around there, close the latch, and gently pull. If you don't gently pull and you tug and tug, you're going to end up with this disaster right there. And again, don't worry if this happens, because they do give extras in each kit. And always remember to tighten at the end. That's another big tip. So you pull up on there and you push down with your thumbnail, and that tightens it. And so what I'll do now, I grab the next set of colors just in a group, and it goes pretty quick once you start rolling with it. So this is about how fast I can go. And you don't want to really rush it. See how that one frayed just a little bit, but it's not a big deal. You know, don't get overly concerned if they get frayed, because it'll just work out. It'll work out. And that's kind of it. Hopefully you can. So there again, I put the yarn, put it through the square, all the way through where the latch is there. Put the yarn at the base of the hook, close it, gently, pull. And you see how that one was a little bit hard to pull through? Half the time it will fray like crazy, but I got lucky on that one. Anyway, alright, so that's kind of it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Hopefully we'll be able to do a bit more now that the summer's coming to a close. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.